Welcome to Painting with Victoria. I'm Victoria Gobel, and in today's lesson, we will be painting a winter deer family. So before we get started painting our deer, let's put the background on. I think what we'll do is put the snow here first, and then we'll put the trees second. And then after that dries, we'll start with the deer family. So take out your flat brush, and it's the only one that looks like it goes straight across like this. And we're going to take some white and a little phthalo blue, make a really pretty turquoise blue color, and add some cad red light. And what this is doing, the cad red is creating a very, I don't want to say like a soft lavender gray color. And so what I'm going to do is just start painting that going across. Not really having I don't really want a straight line. I want it to be kind of a soft, flowy landscape going across like this. So my paintbrush and a little water, make it go on a little bit smoother, and just sort of go in a nice horizontal flow here. So you can kind of see it's kind of a gray purple color. I'm going to add a little bit more cad red to get more purple. Red and blue make purple, and so if you take different shades of red and different shades, red and, yeah, I did say red and blue, didn't I? Anyway, if you take different shades of blues and different shades of reds and put them together, you get different shades of purple. So I'm going to stop there and dip my paintbrush in white and go across just to kind of soften everything. This is pretty. We want to kind of have a flowy movement when we're doing this, not straight lines. You don't want to do this and get straight lines. You want to have it be soft and just kind of the motion of snow. And if you've ever looked at a true snow scene, you will not see it just be white. You'll see all different kinds of shades of purples and blues and grays in the crevices. So that's what we're trying to create here. Okay, this is pretty wet, so I'm going to let this dry a little bit before I actually layer some more white on it. So meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and work on the grassy area up here. Let me just bring this up a little bit higher. Okay, so it's almost divided in half, not quite, but looks like it almost is. So I'm going to, at this point, take the same paintbrush, and I'm going to do some phthalo blue and some yellow ochre to create a nice green color. There we go. Maybe a little bit more blue so that it has more of an icy feel to it, more of a blue green than a yellow green. And so I'm going to take a little bit of white and mix it in that. There we go. And now we're going to start with the trees that are going in the front. And so all I'm going to do is do the shapes of cones, just like that. Okay, I'm going to skip some space and come on over to this side, the right side. I'm going to do a great big tree. Like this is going to be the tree that's closest to the front. And it's even going off of the canvas, and maybe one back here, right next to it. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is whatever is on my brush, which is the green color that we just laid down, I'm going to take it and dip it in white and just start painting a softer green, some trees in the background, and these will go in the back behind the darker green trees. I definitely want it to have a very foresty look. white. So there should definitely be a contrast between those two greens. One is lighter, and the lighter our colors are, the more it takes it further back. Okay, and as you can see, I'm not really picky about the shape of my trees. Okay, now what I'm going to do is take my paintbrush and dip it right into the white, pure white. Even though I have some of that last color on there, that's okay. And I'm going to start with the sky and blend that right into the trees. Still kind of giving the motion of more trees in the background by just going up and down. A little bit more white. Very icy, snowy day. Okay. And as soon as we get done with this, I'm hoping that dark green is still wet, because we have to go right into those trees and give them a little bit of detail. So go ahead and just keep blending all this in. You can always come back to that. And now let's go back to our green color and mix a little bit of white into that. So we're gonna go back to this tone right here that we did these trees right here. And we're gonna go ahead and give these trees some branches, some pine branches coming out like this. You can see how everything is just sort of blending into each other. A couple of details in these trees here. Everything should be soft, so just kind of keep brushing over and over. When you actually see the shape of a tree, have your little strokes go out like this so they look like pine branches. And now this one that's closer up, we want to give it a little bit more detail. And the way you do that is you start down and you come up. And I'm still using that medium color. I'm kind of using the sharp side of my brush to get those nice sharp lines. These brushes, you can either go wide or you can go thin. That's what I love about the flat brush. And I really want this to be sort of dreamy looking, very soft. No sharp edges. And we'll take that nice color, that sage color, and just kind of come across here. I'm going to dip it in some white. My paintbrush, I'm just kind of going from light to dark and light to dark. Get a little bit more snow effect on these trees in the front by applying that lighter shade. So in this lesson, we're going to do something a little bit different. And we're going to, I'm going to teach you a technique that I do using a toothbrush. And I know that sounds kind of funny, kind of weird, but it works every time. And in your kit with this lesson, I am sending you a toothbrush to create the snow falling down, and you're just going to have so much fun. It's very magical, and I always have my students just say that that was their favorite part of the class, was creating the snow. So, all right, so we have our trees in the front, and they're more detailed, and these trees that are in the back are less detailed, and we want that to happen. So let's see, I'm guessing that we're looking really good right here. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse out my brush, and let's go ahead and take our same brush, and we're going to dip it into the white, and right now we're going to just kind of go across the snow like this and just create more pockets. Go right up to the green part. Kind of just blending everything in. We don't have to do the whole thing, but sometimes what I like to do is just take the paintbrush and like glide it across like this to get more of a patchy snow look. So I want the whole side of my paintbrush gliding across it like this. And see how it gets a little bit more patchy? That's really pretty. Very nice. I wish I could see your painting. I always encourage my viewers to please post your paintings to my Facebook page, and that way I can show it off. And you can show it off too. Okay, so this is a good place to stop. I could go crazy with all of that. So I like what I see right now. And so what we're gonna do is let this dry. If it's a sunny day, just take it outside and let it dry for about 5 or 10 minutes. If it's not a sunny day and it's raining outside, just get your blow dryer and hold it on there. Not too close, hold it a little bit far away, and for about five minutes at the most, and it'll be ready. Okay, we'll come back and start our deer. So my painting is nice and dry. You should be able to rub your hand across it and actually feel that there is no sticky parts. So I want you to take your template that is the one that came in your kit. And in this kit, you get 2 templates, and one of them has the area where the eyes and the nose is. So we're going to take out the one that doesn't have the cutout where the eyes are. And let's go ahead and place it, let's see. I think off to the left would be nice. So we're going to put that right about here. And you're going to take your pencil, make sure your pencil's nice and sharp. And we're going to go ahead and trace the entire template. Make sure you press hard enough to where you can see the pencil mark after you lift it. Okay, so I am just about done. You really don't need to do this line down here at the bottom. Don't even bother drawing that. You can put the top like that, but don't bother doing this part of the template. So now we're going to take let's take our number 6 round brush, and we're going to block in our deer family, and it's all going to get blocked in just straight burnt umber, which is the brown color that came in your kit. And so take your time on this. When you go to do the ears, you want to be able to use the point of your brush to get that fine detail. So take your time on this, because this is very important that you don't get out of the lines of your template. And if you follow it exactly, you'll have the beautiful shapes of the deer. Makes it so much easier that you don't have to draw them. Okay, so After this is all painted in, we're going to take this outside and let it dry for 5 minutes or blow dry it for 5 minutes and come back and start on the detail. Okay, so my deer are nice and dry, and now I'm ready to do some details on them. So what we're going to do is, let's start with we're going to darken up the legs that are in the back first. So take out your number 2 round brush. It's very small, it's your smallest brush, and take a little of the phthalo blue and burnt umber, and we're going to make a very dark brown color. Okay, it's definitely darker than our original color. So what we want to do in this part right here, you just kind of want to, we're going to take this leg right here and paint it a darker color, and that way we know this leg's in front and this leg is in the back. And we're going to go ahead and do it on this side, and it would be this leg that's in the back. Okay, and same thing with our babies. And on this one, I'm going to have this leg be in the back. And we're just going to have a little piece of her leg right here. There we go. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's go ahead and rinse out our brush. And then we're going to start with creating kind of different shades of really pretty brown colors. And so take your cad red light and a little burnt umber, and let's stir that around until we get a nice warm, lighter brown color. That's good right there. Okay, so we're going to use the same paintbrush, and we're going to just go in the direction of what the deer's fur would go. So right here, their little thigh would be going in this direction. And maybe up here, we want to kind of go the direction of her ears. And this little deer is in front, so we would put her ear in front. And let's see. We're going to do a couple of shades before we're done here. So right here, let's just go in the direction of her body. A little tail here. And I'm going to go ahead and put this ear, paint it right in front because he's in front of his mommy. And the leg is going in this direction here. It's really pretty, almost of a Venetian red color. But this is going to be one of our undertones of the deer. And now we're going to come across with the leg going in a downward strokes here up her neck and across the top of her head, outlining the ears. Okay, and then the last little fawn. Okay, come across here. Okay, so this is a good undercolor, and we're going to go ahead and just apply the next color, and that will be burnt umber and yellow ochre. As you can see, I didn't even clean out my brush. That little bit of the red color is going to be just fine mixing in with it. Okay, so now I've got kind of a, I want to say it's almost like a mocha color, and let's just test this out and see. Oh yeah, this is nice. I like that. Okay, so it's yellow ochre and burnt umber, and now we're going to do the same thing. Just come across. Just kind of brushy strokes. Just, we want to see some of the other colors. Don't fill it in solid because you want to see some of those other tones coming in or coming through in the background. It's definitely starting to take shape. Outline the ears a little bit. And this time I'm going to come across her neck. Layering of colors is very important in order to get the depth, and there is no reason as a beginner painter that you cannot accomplish this, these techniques. This is just a matter of knowing when to lay the paint down and what colors to use. I never ever teach a painting class for a beginner that I know that they can't do, and a lot of times it's just the knowledge of knowing what colors to use and when to use them. Okay, so the little chest here, the direction would be going down like this. Okay, and I'm never touching those dark legs, leaving them dark so they actually look like they're in the background. And we have one more deer to paint here. I'm going to outline the ears again and put his little head in here, behind the neck. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take our paintbrush. We're not going to rinse it out, and dip it into some white. So now you're going to get a nice creamy color. And we're going to start with, let's see, let's do some of the underbelly right here and maybe behind the tail. And we're definitely going to do the inside of the ears. Chest on the baby, down here on the belly, and let's see, let's go ahead and do the chest on this one. So cute. And of course, mommy. Doesn't take much paint for this. We want to go in downward strokes like this. Come all the way out to the edge. Here we go. Okay. No sharp lines, just very soft, soft lines. Okay, and so at this point, we're gonna go ahead and take that same color, little tiny paintbrush, and we're gonna just kind of put some little spots on our deer. We'll do the eyes and the nose in a minute. We're just going to finish these. As long as we've got this color on our paintbrush, let's go ahead and finish up using that color. We can always go back and do some more details if we feel like it needs it. Oh, I forgot the mommy's belly. I'm kind of just scratching that in because I want it to really look like fur. Okay. All right, so now what we're gonna do, and this should be pretty dry because I was really just kind of scratching the paint on. You're going to take your other template that has the nose and eyes, and you're going to place it on top of, right on top of it, and fit it to where it fits right inside. And there you will see where the nose and the eyes go. So we're going to go ahead and trace that in the best you can. So it's a small little stencil here. You have to trace it in, but I want to be able to see where the eyes go and where the nose goes. It's really important. So I just sort of scratch it in with my pencil. And let's take that off and see how well I can see it. Yep, I can definitely see it. So we are going to go back to that tiny little paintbrush, rinse it out. We're almost done here. As soon as we get done with these last bit of details, we're going to put the snow on, and that's the magical part. So we're going to go back to our phthalo blue and burnt umber, and we're going to create that almost a black color. And sketch in the nose. There we go, and the little eyes. Remember, doe eyes, so we kind of want to give her more of a slanted eyes. Okay, and wrinkle this nose a little bit more, and little babies. Okay, so now I need to do, and I didn't want to do the white part under her nose until I saw where the nose goes, so I want to do that little part of her mouth right here, and that is going to be that cream. Go back to that cream color that you use for your spots, and let's go ahead and just kind of scoop that under like that. We're going to give a little shine mark on her nose and a little dot in her eye, just a little glint in her eye. The same thing with the babies. And this is just such a small little detail, but I think it's important. Come back over in a few places and maybe whiten up this a little bit more. Okay, so this is a good place to stop, and I'm just still trying to figure out if I want more little spots on their backs, but you know, I think it looks pretty good. You know, you can just keep looking and looking and deciding if you want to add more spots. But I think this is really, really good. So the last thing I want to do before I do the snow is take my paintbrush, and this is the square, the flat brush, and we're going to put, remember that line that you drew right here where the end of their feet went? We want to make sure we get that in here. And so instead of it just going making a line, I'm going to just put straight white paint on here. Let me lift this off of here for a second. Just kind of soft little strokes just to kind of represent that this is the front of our painting. Remember I said just kind of skate it across using the flat part of your brush. Go, and maybe just a few more little white spots in here. Oops, I want to hit my deer. Just a few more little white areas. Oh, this is looking very, very nice. I'm very happy with this, and this is a great place to stop. And now we are going to do something that's kind of fun. And so rinse out your brush and get out your toothbrush. And here's what I think is probably best. We're going to take our canvas and set it on our table. So let me get all of this out of the way. And so take your canvas and set it down on a table. Okay. And now you're going to take your toothbrush and dip it in water. Okay, so now let me just set this here. I don't know if it's gonna, nope, it's not gonna stay. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna move my canvas over here and set this down. It's very important that we actually have a nice easy space to work with. So we're going to take our toothbrush, I keep calling it a paintbrush, it's a toothbrush, and dip it in white. And it has to be wet, otherwise if the paint's too thick this isn't going to work. So you really get one shot of doing this right, and so don't panic. If there's a big lump of snow, you know, well then it's just a big snowball in front. So what I'm going to do is just take it and start flicking. Isn't this special? This is so great. And this is how we get our falling snow. And you can put as much or as little snow as you wish. I'm really liking this where it's at. I don't want to do too much, but it is a nice snowy day. And this also softens the trees back here. And that's really about it. I mean, I could keep going with it, and sometimes I don't know when to stop. But I think I'm just going to do a little bit more in softer in the background. Yeah. I think there's enough on the deer. Okay, so put this back up on the canvas. And this is our lovely deer family. It's a beautiful snowy day, and the deer don't mind. They love the snow as well. So if you feel that you're finished, it's time to sign your painting. So I think what I'm going to do is pick that lovely blue-green color that I started off with the trees. And it's very important that you sign your painting. Very important, because it's just part of your legacy. So I'm going to go ahead and sign my name. I hope you enjoyed today's class. And if you enjoyed this class, please share it with your friends. Send away for some more kits so you can see all the other techniques that I teach. In each class, I definitely show you new techniques and new ways of mixing colors. So Victoria Gobel, I'm ready. And until I see you next time, happy painting and take care of yourself.